Yes, again, this is Gary with Let It Be RV, and I'm trying to kind of give a boost to some of the contractors that are out here. I wanted to show you this rig right here. It's up for sale, but we're going to go talk briefly to the owner, and we'll see what other kind of rigs he has or what kind of business he does. So let's go over here. There, look at that. He's petting the dog. Yeah, why don't you stand? That'd be better. Yeah, move your head back. Take your hat off. Yeah.
Take my hat off? Come on.
Okay, he didn't want to take his hat off.
Felix always wears.
But I wanted to introduce you to
Felix.
And Felix lives in?
I live in Southern California, Yucaipa, California.
And what kind of projects are you working on? I mean, what do you do?
I'm a licensed contractor. Last year I was out at the Nomad Build as a volunteer, and I learned so much about this. So I started building vans and buses for people.
Okay, well, you got 3 acres in California. What rigs do you have on your...
Actually, I have 3 buses right now. I have a 25-footer that's done, a 32-footer is done, a 40-footer that it hasn't been even started yet. I have a couple other vans that have been converted. I just had so much fun building them, so I kept building them.
So if somebody came to you and said, I bought this van, I want you to make it comfortable for me, you'll go in and do the inside carpentry work?
I can do just about anything you want inside. Put the solar on it, put your composting toilet, it's in your electrical, your refrigerators, your insulation, anything that you need done. It's just that when you're doing a van or a bus, a lot of people don't have the ideas yet, and I've done so many of them, so I can give you some unique ideas or do whatever you like, but we can change some of those as well. So there's a couple unique things I have.
So I noticed that you are selling this rig, and you're out here handing out cards.
Well, I mostly want to test everything. Everything that I build, I want to test and make sure that the shower works, make sure the stove works, make sure the heating works, make sure it feels comfortable. Because if you don't feel comfortable in it, nobody's going to want it.
That's right.
I want to make sure that they're all usable.
Very good.
I've traveled across the United States 3 times, at a year at a time. So that actually makes it, so I know what I like.
So what were you driving? Give us you told me earlier.
I had a 19-foot little Astrovan RV the first time. I've traveled in a trailer before. I've traveled in a cab over camper before. And now I'm starting to do it in buses, and it's great.
So you kind of know what your audience is here, these nomads. And, you know, there's not a lot of money. There's a lot of need. There's some homeless. There's some people that are, need some help.
Well, when I come out to the desert, I help people, and they ask to pay me, and I'm like, I just want to help people. I have a blast doing it. But a lot of people also out here have vans that don't know what to do with them. Yeah. So I invite them to my property. I have 3 acres. An acre and a half is fenced off. I have a place where they can use a restroom, a shower, get fresh water. They have a dump station, and they just bring their vans over there, and I build for them. It makes it easier. If they already own the van or bus, it's so much easier than me having to go look for a van or bus. So yeah, we can do that.
Very good. Very good. So tell me just a brief idea of, and I ask everybody this question, what phenomena do you think is going on with these people that all of a sudden are, and I say all of a sudden, it may not be a phenomena that I'm thinking it is, but there's all these people that are leaving the country, and coming to the country and living in their vans.
Well, one thing, California, our taxes are getting too high. Even our property taxes are going through the roof. But there's a lot of people, even my neighbors, their kids losing their jobs, but they don't want the kids to live in the house. So they're living in RVs and trailers and buses and whatever they can get to. So I make them fully self-sufficient, composting toilets. I make where they have their own solar system on them with their own battery system. So you don't even have to plug them in. You don't have to have black water. You just have a gray water that you can water your garden with.
There you go.
That's one group, and then the other group that needs something to live in because they just lost everything. Those are the people that I like to help. Now granted, I sell buses, and they're a little bit more expensive to do buses, but if you have a car, I did a lady's car. I mean, a little tiny SUV, but it was a little tiny car. And she goes, can you put a bed in here? I said, yeah. We take out the passenger seat, we put a toilet underneath, put a seat on top for your dog, and then we make a couch that sits in there so you can sit in there while it's raining. If it's not raining, you want to live outside, then we make small awnings for them, and Anybody can do this.
So you're kind of the go-to guy when somebody has this idea and they got some sort of good deal on a van or an RV, but
it doesn't matter what size.
Not quite.
A true car is very different. There's no room. I mean, if they have a trunk on it, there's almost no way. You got to have some kind of SUV.
Yeah.
But even a pickup truck, you can get a camper shell and we can go from there.
Very good.
But I've built tiny homes. I'm building a cab over camper that's handicap accessible, has built-in ramps, wider doors, couches that move, things like that. I like to build things that everything has to have 2 to 3 uses. If it's only good for one thing, it's kind of useless as far as I'm concerned. Well, here, come take a look at this bus.
Well, I don't want to really. I'm more, like I said, I'm more interested in people than I am in vehicles. I really am. Because I want to know what makes people tick, and I understand your motive is to come out here and get some work, maybe down the road. Get passing out business cards, but more interested in what your motive is for coming out here. So
well, ultimately, when I get done, I want to be able to have the best rig possible that I can create. I've built probably 3 buses, maybe 12 vans, 2 or 3 cars, and I want to be able to go anywhere, anytime I want to. So I'd like to buy a big chunk of property in Arizona, but it's either too hot or too cold. So I got to be able to be insulated, be able to have, but I want to know everything that can possibly go wrong.
So ultimately you want to be able to have your own rig, your own Nomad rig, whether you're in California or Arizona, right. But be able to offer maybe places for people to kind of stop.
If I have a big enough piece of property, I let it, if you're down here in the desert during the summertime, it's too hot. So I want to go up in the mountains a little bit. So during the summertime, they can go up here, and during the wintertime, they can come back out here and visit everybody. So I want to do about the same thing.
So Felix, give us your contact information, your website. Say it slowly so people can maybe write it down.
Well, the best way right now is just do direct email, since my name is Felix and I started in 2012. I'm at 2012. Just go Felix.
4012.
I lost a few years there, but Felix 4012 at gmail.com.
Okay, all right, very good.
You can get a hold of me that way. It goes directly to my phone, and I'm never gonna miss it because I actually carry 3 phones, which is kind of odd. But that way I get internet when I travel. So, I mean, that's a simple thing. A lot of people don't realize you can watch YouTube. You can watch. To learn more, you can actually have Netflix, Amazon Prime. I carry 3 phones. Each one has 30 gigs, so I have 90 gigs.
There you go.
I can watch every single day.
Well, everybody, you got to be ingenious, and that's why I like characters like you. Is that, and Dennis from a minute ago, and is that you have to have some smarts about you to have some ideas and be ingenious.
Well, thank you.
And being able to pull it off.
It's the fact that my actual company is outeredgeproperties.com or outeredgeproperties.com. I flip houses, but the reason why it's called Outer Edge, because I don't like to think like everybody else does in this little tiny box. Think on the outer edge. So if it can be done, I will find a way to make it done. If you want something done and nobody's ever done it, we'll figure it out together. Even if I could just help people with that.
I'm going to end it now. This is Felix. They're very excited that I've got people out here, kind of like the van build. This is not the van build. This is still Boondocker Bash. And you can see behind us, there's lots of rigs here. We're not half as many as last year. And I'm going to head over there and to this guy with the school bus. Who is that guy? I'm going to do him next. So again, this is Gary with Let It Be RV. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell, and you'll get notification from me every time I post a video.
Awesome.
So thank you, Felix, but be safe.
All right, take care.